Please welcome to the stage Trevor Lifeline counselor Connor Johnston.
I am made to be free.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Connor Johnston, and my pronouns are he, him, and his. Thank you. I've been a Trevor Lifeline counselor for 3.5 years, but my journey with Trevor started when I was a teenager, when I called the Lifeline. I used to walk through my high school, judging everything I said or did. By the time I was around 17, I was able to identify why I was different from all my friends. But it was a part of myself that I hated. I was afraid that my body would give me away, that my voice would give me away, my walk, my hands. So I would watch the straight guys walk down the hall and try to mirror their stride. I'd try to control how my hands moved when I gave presentations in class, and I would engage endlessly in some pretty cruel conversation with myself. Hey, remember today when you had to sit at the different lunch table because there weren't any seats left with your friends? I bet they didn't want to sit with you because you're different. No, there just weren't any seats left. I mean, they could have made room if they wanted to. It must have been something. This kind of dialogue filled my head all day, every day, right up until I'd find myself lying in bed, ready for sleep. And always, the last line in the conversation was, I wish to wake up and be someone else. It was exhausting. It was so exhausting. So one night, I remembered the Trevor Project, which I'd learned about at a school assembly, and I just needed a way out of this downward spiral. I'd reached my limit, so I called. When I heard the voice on the other end of the line, I immediately started crying. I cried so hard to the point where I couldn't see anything anymore. And the most powerful thing for me was the counselor stayed in the moment with me. No matter how immense my emotions were, he was prepared to hold them. I was really scared, but I didn't scare the counselor away. I don't remember what I specifically said or what I heard, but I remember after the call was over, feeling such powerful clarity. I felt the weight lift, and I finally felt the exhaustion melt away. So many years later, I now live in New York City. I'm completely out, and I'm totally proud, and I'm surrounded by a community. And I'm surrounded by a community that loves me for who I really am. I no longer judge the pitch of my voice or how I move my hands, and every night I go to bed loving every part of who I am. So I've been a Trevor Lifeline counselor for over 3 years now, and whenever I have a volunteer shift, I'm so grateful to be in such an honored position to provide that kind of support that I was given years ago. To any young person in crisis who's watching, reach out to us. We're trained and waiting, and we're ready to tell you that you're loved. And we are so happy to hear from you. And we got you. The Trevor Project was there for me during the darkest period of my life. And tonight, all of you here, and those of you watching our live stream, have the opportunity to be there for the Trevor Project. And you've heard a lot of stats this evening, and I know it can be really hard to put those into perspective. So let me say this. I know what it's like to be on the other end of a call where a person wants to end their life because they're afraid to grow up in this world. And after more than 3 years of responding to those calls, I know what level of support is needed when the phone is ringing nonstop. So now, our amazing co-hosts, Sashir and Zazie, have offered to come out here and help me inspire you to give some of your support.